Bentornati a Coffee Break Italian!
Welcome back to the Coffee Break Italian show. Io sono Maurizio.
E io sono Francesca.
Here at the Coffee Break Italian show, we help you take your Italian further, one coffee break at a time.
So make sure you subscribe to our podcast feed wherever you're listening from, or if you're watching the video, make sure you subscribe to our channel on YouTube.
Great! Allora, oggi, Francesca, continuiamo un discorso che abbiamo iniziato nello scorso episodio, giusto?
That's right, Maurizio. In the previous episode, we introduced the imperative.
Yep.
And today we are looking at how to form the imperative in negative structures.
So we're talking about the imperativo negativo.
Perfetto. Allora
Siamo
dai,
pronti?
cominciamo.
Cominciamo. I would say that we should quickly review the function of the imperative. When do we use it?
Okay, as we said in our previous episode, we use the imperative in Italian for a variety of functions, and they're all very practical functions. So giving advice, orders, exhorting, giving instructions for recipes, finding your way in a city. So it's a very versatile mood.
Exactly. And it can be used in the negative to tell someone not to do something.
Esatto,
right?
Esatto.
So it's useful also in this sense.
So make sure, if you haven't watched our previous episode, make sure you watch our previous episode where we are giving you an overview on how to form the imperative, and then continue with this one.
Exactly. Allora, let's talk about the formation of the imperativo negativo. And we're going to go through the tu form, the voi form, and the lei form, as we did in the previous episode. So let's start with the tu form. So how do we form the tu form of the imperativo negativo?
Okay, so for this specific person, for the tu form, somehow we need to forget about the imperativo we learned in the previous episode, because in this case, we simply use non followed by the infinitive. So not by the imperative, but by the infinitive. And together they convey an imperative nuance, let's say.
So the infinitive form is the form you find in a dictionary.
Esatto.
It's the are, ere, ire form of a verb.
Sì.
All right.
And I think we should use maybe the same verbs that we have used in the previous episode so that we can give a clear overview of the whole pattern.
Okay, so if you give me the tu form of the imperative, I'll do the negative of that.
Molto bene.
Okay.
So if I tell you entra, come in, or enter,
I would say for the negative, non entrare.
Perfetto. So although we are tempted to think that it could be non entra, that doesn't exist, we need to make the effort of switching to the infinitive.
Yeah, so non entrare. Or another one?
Rispondi, answer, reply.
Right. So here is an ere verb. We would say non rispondere.
Molto bene.
Right.
And my favorite, dormi, sleep.
Non dormire. Again, so we just simply use non plus the infinitive, the are, ere, ire form of a verb.
Sì. Yeah. And this applies only to the tu form.
Yes.
Because when we switch to the voi, when we're giving commands, orders to a group of people, what do we do in that case?
Well, in that case, we simply take the non plus the standard form of the voi.
Sì.
So, for example, if I say entrate, the negative would be
non entrate, don't enter, you all as a group.
Or rispondete.
Non rispondete, don't reply, don't answer.
Or again, your favorite verb again, dormite.
Non dormite. So don't sleep if you're talking, for example, to a group of children or your friends. Non dormite,
Stay
don't
up.
sleep. Sì.
And last time we talked about the lei form. The lei form being the formal way of addressing a person in Italian.
Esatto.
So in that case, we're going to do the same as we did with voi. We take the lei form and we just put the non before it.
So very straightforward
Yes.
again.
So, for example, entri becomes non entri.
Sì, or risponda, non risponda, don't reply, don't answer in a formal scenario.
Exactly. Or dorma becomes non dorma.
Okay.
So again, we simply put the non in front of the imperative that we already know how to form.
So basically, to recap, the only thing that we really have to, let's say, focus on is the idea of non plus the infinitive when we give advice, orders, commands to one person.
Yeah. And this form we can find also in signs, right?
Sì, because that's the idea of giving orders to an unspecified audience in a way. So to a tu that we don't really know.
Yeah, to like a general tu.
Sì, and it's very common in Italy to find a lot of signs with this type of imperative.
For example,
ad esempio, when you're not supposed to park or leave your car in a specific place, you could find non sostare or non parcheggiare qui.
Yeah, so again, non sostare, non parcheggiare. Non plus the infinitive.
So don't park here or don't stay for a short period here.
Or non camminare sull'erba.
Sì,
don't walk on the grass. So it's important to remember the non plus the infinitive. This is the tu form of the negative imperative. Okay?
Let's put all this into practice.
So we're going to use the scenario exercise as we did previously with the imperativo. And in this case, I'm going to start.
Okay, vai.
So we're going to give you a scenario and you're going to choose which negative imperative to use in that scenario. Okay? We're going to give you 10 seconds later. Let's start by reading the first scenario here.
Andiamo.
We have, it's raining outside and your grandmother, your nonna, is unwell.
Poverina.
Unfortunately, she has a bit of a cold. But she still wants to go out to buy some milk and you want to stop her from doing that. So, what are we going to say?
Okay.
All right.
Let's think for 10 seconds.
10 seconds from now.
Okay.
Yep.
So I can be informal with my nonna.
Yes,
okay.
definitely.
And I probably would say, Nonna, non uscire, mamma mia.
Nonna, non uscire. So, grandmother, don't go out.
Sì, and obviously there could be more options like non andare fuori. Obviously you can be even more creative than us.
Exactly.
But it's just to give you an idea.
Yeah. And you can comment your answer below if you want. We're going to answer to your messages as well. Why don't you give me a scenario?
So your friends, Maurizio, I tuoi amici, they have bad teeth, okay? But they keep eating sweets. So what can you tell them?
Che golosi.
Golosoni.
All right, let's think about that. We're going to give you 10 seconds from now. Okay, well, in this case, so we're talking about a friend who has sore teeth, but still he's eating candies or sweets.
And remember, it's a group of friends, not
it's
just
a group
one.
of friends.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got distracted there. Okay, so a group of friends, we're going to use the voi form. We're going to say, non mangiate le caramelle.
Sì,
for
bravissimo.
example, non mangiate le caramelle. If we talk about candies, if you're talking about sweets, desserts in general, you can say non mangiate i dolci.
I dolci.
There are other options as well, of course.
And as you mentioned, one specific friend, if it was just one friend, what would you say to one friend?
We would say non mangiare.
So we can see that difference. Non mangiare, non mangiate.
Perfect.
Okay, we have time for one more, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
And in this case, we are going to ask you guys a double imperative here. So we're going to do 2 commands in one. So here we have a client at your hotel who is telling you that they would like to go to a certain pizzeria to have dinner. But you suggest that it's better not to go there because the pizza probably is not good there.
Maybe, yeah.
And you suggest going to the restaurant at the corner. Okay? So we're saying, don't go there. Go to this restaurant at the corner.
Vediamo un po'.
All right?
Okay.
10 seconds to think about this.
Yeah.
Ok.
Bene, allora mi piace questo nuovo lavoro. So what can we say here? Obviously, we are at a hotel. We don't know our customer there. So we want to be polite. We want to get the politeness right. So we're going to use vada, the verb andare, in the formal imperative.
Yeah, so we're using the lei form.
The lei form, sì. Okay. So in the first part, I would say non vada in quella pizzeria. Okay.
Non vada in quella pizzeria. So don't go to that pizzeria.
And then we can just keep vada as it is and give a command in the positive structure, in the affirmative structure, and say something like vada invece al ristorante all'angolo.
All right, so vada invece al ristorante all'angolo, which means go instead to the restaurant at the corner, as we were saying.
Sì. Let's think again about that friend of yours who is eating a lot of sweets. And in that case, what would you say if your friend was at your hotel?
All right, so I'm going to use the to form instead of the lei form. So I would say non andare in quella pizzeria, va or vai invece al ristorante all'angolo.
So we can really see how important in Italian it is to get in that formality right and understanding if it's a formal or an informal scenario, because that affects the choice of our verbs.
The form of the verb, exactly. Ok, allora penso sia tutto per questo episodio e direi che possiamo
salutarci. Va bene.
We hope you enjoyed this lesson of the Coffee Break Italian show.
You can find all these examples and even more information written down in our blog post. So just check the link in the description.
And if you'd like more help with your Italian, extra help with your Italian, you can receive regular free email lessons by signing up to our mailing list. So visit coffeebreaklanguages.com/Italian.
See, and look out for the next mini lesson straight in your inbox. E allora è tutto. See you soon. Ci vediamo presto e come sempre,
happy coffee breaking. Ciao.
You have been listening to a Coffee Break Languages production for the Radiolingua Network. Copyright 2024 Radiolingua Limited. Recording copyright 2024 Radiolingua Limited. All rights reserved.